Taurus, a Gemini. Have you ever felt like your mind has 20 tabs open at the same time while your soul is deeply asking for 5 minutes of peace? 1 minute you want quiet, comfortable life, and the next you're bored and need something new. You can be incredibly grounded, but your mind is always asking, what else? What if? If you are a Taurus, a Gemini CUSP, this reading is going to explain why. And trust me, beautiful soul, there's a reason you were born with these two very different energies. Thank you for being here. Thank you for hitting the like button, beautiful souls. Imagine having one foot standing firmly on the ground while the other foot is already halfway down the road, wondering what's around the next corner. That's a Taurus Gemini cusp. Taurus is earth. Gemini is air. Taurus says, slow down. Let's make this stable. Let's enjoy what we've built. But Gemini says, but what? But wait. I almost said, but what? But wait, what? Right? What if there is something else? What if we learned something new? What if we tried this? And you can perhaps feel both of those voices inside you. You might even genuinely love your routine until suddenly you don't. You might crave peace and quiet, but then find yourself scrolling, searching, watching videos, learning something new, or thinking about 5 completely different things at midnight. And here's the funny thing is, people may look at you and think you're calm because your Taurus side knows how to keep things together, but they don't always know what's happening inside your mind. Your mind can be incredibly active. You're noticing things, connecting information, remembering conversations, thinking about possibilities, wondering what people really meant when they said something, thinking about what you should do next. And then like your Taurus side comes in and says, can we please just sit down and have some peace? And that's the beautiful contradiction of your soul, that you're learning how to create a life that gives you your curious mind room to explore without sacrificing the peace your nervous system and your heart need. So today's reading, what we're diving into is not a prediction. We are more asking about, we also not asking what's coming next, all right? We're asking something a little bit deeper about who you are, all right? What is the hidden gift inside this unusual combination of earth and air? What do people misunderstand about you? And what is Spirit asking you to understand about yourself? So beautiful souls, this is slightly different. Let me know in the comments. Thank you for liking the video, being subscribers here. And let's dive into your soul's essence. We have the corn here. All right, number 10. Spirits coming through here to describe your unique soul. All right, my Taurus Gemini cusp. This is really a beautiful card for you guys, all right, my Taurus Geminis, because corn speaks about substance, about abundance, nourishment, and having enough. Taurus understands this energy naturally, all right. Taurus wants something real, a safe home, financial stability, food on the table, something beautiful to enjoy, something solid to build upon. But then your Gemini side comes along and says, okay, but what are we going to do with all of this? So your soul doesn't only want to possess things. It wants to experience them. It wants to experience them, right? To understand them, talk about them, learn from them, share them. This is why you may have a natural ability to turn knowledge into something practical. You can take an idea and ask, okay, but how can I actually use this? That is one of your gifts. You can take something complicated and make it understandable. You can take an experience and you can turn it into wisdom. You can take what you've learned and eventually use it to create a greater stability, not only for yourself, but sometimes for the people also around you. Corn carries another message as well here, that there is more than enough, that you don't have to live in constant scarcity. You don't have to believe that if someone else succeeds, there is less available to you. Because yeah, your soul is learning abundance, not only financial abundance, but abundance of ideas, abundance of possibilities, abundance of love, abundance of knowledge, abundance of life itself. And when your Taurus gives your Gemini mind a grounded place to land, you can actually create something really incredibly powerful. So if abundance and nourishment are part of your soul's natural energy, what is like the deeper gift that you're carrying that you may not even recognize yet? All right. So let's dive into your second oracle. We have here from the Gaia oracle, we have Gaia. It says wisdom, knowledge, spiritual understanding, your hidden gift, and the need to embrace within yourselves. Now, sometimes your greatest gifts are the parts of yourselves that you've spent years trying to hide. And so your hidden gift is actually wisdom. But not in the kind of wisdom where you stand on a mountain, giving everyone advice. It's the wisdom that comes from observing life, learning, asking questions, making mistakes, watching people, experiencing different perspectives, and then slowly understanding how everything connects. Like your Gemini side wants to know the why, and your Taurus side wants to understand what is actually real. Put those together and you can actually become incredibly discerning, right? You don't have to believe everything you hear as well. You can listen, you can observe, and you can sit with the information. And eventually you develop your own understanding. Spirit also reminds you here that you're not here to force your wisdom onto everyone, right? Not everyone will be ready to hear what you've learned. And that's okay, right? You don't have to convince everybody. You don't have to explain yourself endlessly. Sometimes being a beacon means simply just shining. The right people will notice. 10, 5 could be significant. It could be house placements, all right? Number 15 could be significant. The number 6, all right? All right, so let's dive into the tarot, okay? And we're asking, why does my Taurus Gemini CUSP naturally experience a life this way? And here we have the Queen of Pentacles. Here's your Earth energy coming out. This card is really coming back to your Taurus foundation. The Queen of Pentacles is the energy of grounded, practical, nurturing, and capable. But yeah, we're going to clarify each of these cards, all right? Another Earth energy. Your Taurus side is really coming out. Perhaps I'm talking to someone that's more on the Taurus side than the Gemini side. Maybe you can let me know in the comments. The Nine of Pentacles is the energy I can create something for myself. So with these two cards, it tells me that underneath the busy Gemini mind is someone who deeply values independence and security. You may love learning, exploring, and talking about different ideas, but ultimately, you want your life to feel stable. You want to know that you are okay. You want to be able to depend on yourself. But here's something that's really interesting, is that you may actually be more independent than people actually realize. You can love people deeply and still need your own space. You can enjoy company and still need time alone. You can be social and private at the same time. Maybe you've had people say, I thought you were so outgoing. And then someone else say, I thought you were really quiet. Both can be true at the same time. The Gemini side can be very curious, conversational, and playful, while the Taurus side is like selective, right? About who gets access to the deeper parts of you. You don't necessarily want everybody, all right? You want the right people. You don't necessarily want more. You want what feels meaningful. This isn't something that's wrong with you. It's more about, it's the part of how your soul experiences the world. All right, so let's dive further in. All right. The next is we're looking at your inner strength that keeps you moving forward. All right. I'm hearing builder energy. All right. The Ace of Pentacles. The Ace of Pentacles is an opportunity. All right. Here's another 10. 10 can be very significant. All right. 10 of Pentacles. Yes, remember I said builder energy. All right. There's that 10 of Pentacles. It's the energy of, here's the opportunity. Now let's build something that lasts. This is your inner strength that keeps you moving forward. You may start with a small idea, but your soul naturally thinks about what it could become. That's why I'm hearing you capable of little beginnings, turning little beginnings into something sustainable. You may start with a small job and then eventually become the person everybody depends on. You may start learning something because you're curious, and then years later, you're extremely knowledgeable about it. Maybe you've even built your finances, your home, your career, or even your life one step at a time. Whether you're busy with this currently or you've done this, all right, depending on where you are on your life path. You're not necessarily motivated by the overnight success. You want something you can look at one day and say, I built this. And that is your resilience. Your strength isn't measured by how often life knocks you down. It's actually measured by how many times your soul chooses to rise again. All right, let's dive deeper in. And the next question we're asking, what is the biggest misunderstanding that people have about you, my Taurus, a Gemini CUSP? Now we have justice here. Let's get another one. Knight of Swords, very interesting, right? Because people may misunderstand you the way you communicate. The Knight of Swords is quick energy, direct, curious, somebody that wants answers. And here's justice. Justice wants truth. Justice is about truth. I just had to pause a moment to see why the dogs are barking. So you may have a very strong reaction when someone doesn't make sense to you. People might even think you're arguing, but you're actually trying to understand. Someone might even tell you that your Gemini side immediately starts asking questions, but the why, the how, what actually happened, that doesn't make sense. And then your Taurus side says, like, and I need the facts before changing my mind. So I'm hearing, so people can sometimes experience you as stubborn or argumentative or difficult to convince. But here's the truth, right, is that you don't necessarily want to be right. You want things to make sense. And once you've made up your mind based on what you've observed and experienced, it can be very difficult for you to move. The Taurus part, right? That's the Taurus part. But getting there, that's the Gemini part, right? That you question everything. All right, so let's dive in and see what is your shadow side. The Devil. Number 15. 15 could be significant for some of you. Or number 6. I'm seeing 666s here on the table. 6 house placements could be significant. Okay, this is where I want to be really honest with you. That with the Devil coming out, let's get another one. Okay. Okay, all right. Now we're going to be honest. Because now we got the full picture, all right? The Devil and the 8 of Pentacles. The shadow can be becoming too attached to what keeps you busy. This is like showing patterns that become habits. So it could be work, productivity, checking your phone, researching, thinking, planning, repeating, doing. And sometimes you can become so mentally occupied that you don't realize actually exhausted. So maybe you might tell yourself, I'll rest when I'm finished this. But then there's always something else, another task, another message, another video, another thing to do, another problem to solve, another reason why to stay busy. And eventually your Taurus side is being like, please, can we just go and chill on the couch? Can we just breathe for a minute? Like, can we just nap a little bit? Right? This is where you need to watch the perfectionism and the mental overstimulation, that not every thought deserves your attention. Not every problem needs to be solved today. Not everything needs to become a project. It's like your shadow isn't something to fear. It's simply that there's a part of you that's asking to be healed. What is your hidden superpower? So we've got the King of Cups. Okay. Everyone has masculine and feminine energy. All right. Let's get another here. 3 of Wands. Emotional maturity with vision. All right. King of Cups is somebody that understands emotions without being controlled by them. The 3 of Wands looks beyond the immediate moment, sees the possibility. This means that you do have the potential to become someone who can see the bigger picture without losing the emotional intelligence. You're able to listen to people, understand different perspectives, think strategically, and then make grounded decisions. And that's very powerful, that you can be the person that people come to when they are confused, because you can help them see things clearly from like another angle. Like your Gemini side gathers information, your Taurus side grounds it. All right. So you gather the information and you ground it. Your emotional intelligence is what allows you to understand the human side of the situation. And your vision allows you to see what's possible beyond the current circumstances. You don't just have ideas. You can learn to turn those ideas into something real. So I'm hearing that your greatest strength isn't choosing between your 2 zodiac signs, right? It's allowing both your energies, your Gemini and your Taurus side, to work together. Duality. All right, let's have a look at this. Last card here is the lesson Spirit is teaching your soul right now. And we have the 6 of Pentacles. 6 of Pentacles is the energy of giving and receiving. All right, and the Emperor. All right, 10. 6 and 4 creates 10. So we started with your first card with a 10 and we're ending with the number 10. So Emperor is about the structure and boundaries and authority and self-respect. Perhaps you either have a North Node Aries or a Earth energy, all right? A fire sign or Earth sign North Node. Doesn't have to be. Spirit's asking you to look at where your energy is going. Are you always the one giving, or are you always the one helping? Are you always available? Are you always explaining yourself to people who aren't really listening? Are you giving people access to you simply because you ask? They ask. I'm hearing something about your lesson here is learning that generosity without boundaries can become exhaustion. That you don't have to prove your value by constantly being useful. You don't have to earn love by giving more than you receive. And you don't have to feel guilty for protecting your time. Because the Emperor is the energy of creating structure around your energy. Decide, what are you available for? And also deciding what you're not available for, and then standing on it, standing on business, right, on your boundaries. Because peace isn't something that you find only when life becomes quiet. Sometimes peace is something that you create by deciding what you're no longer willing to entertain. This isn't about becoming someone different. It's more about becoming more of who you've always been. So we got this final oracle out here, all right? It's an unknown name oracle. Sacred Meadow, rest in nature's embrace. This is your final message closing out here from Spirit. And this is actually such a powerful, beautiful card to end your soul blueprint with. After all the mental activity, after all the questions, after all the thinking, Spirit brings you back to nature. Back to your body, back to simplicity. Back into the present moment, because sometimes the answer isn't just another thought, right? Sometimes the answer is just going outside, feeling the sun on your face, walking barefoot on the grass, even if you go to the ocean walking on barefoot on the beach, right, in the sand. Sitting maybe quietly outside in the late evening or in the evening, right, as the day comes to an end, or even in the morning, drinking a cup of tea or coffee or whatever, listening maybe to the birds, just taking a deep breath and realizing I'm actually okay right now. Your mind is allowed to explore, your curiosity is allowed to lead you, but your soul also deserves somewhere peaceful to land. You don't have to choose between being curious and being grounded. You don't have to choose between adventurous and stability. You don't have to silence your mind to find peace. I'm hearing you learning to give your mind freedom while giving your soul roots. So no matter what cards appear today, just remember that your soul wasn't created by accident. Two energies. You carry aren't meant to compete. They're meant to complete each other. Duality. Everything you've lived has been preparing you to become exactly who you came here to be. So I'm hearing here, trust your journey. Trust your wisdom. Trust the quiet voice beneath the mental noise. And most importantly, trust yourself. My beautiful Taurus, Gemini, CUSPers. So that is your soul blueprint. Did it make you think, whoa, that explains so much about me? Let me know in the comments, beautiful souls. What part of the reading felt most like you? Was it the busy mind, the need for stability, the constant curiosity, Or maybe the part about giving so much of yourself while secretly needing peace. Remember to take what resonates, leave the rest. But yeah, share your story in the comments. All right. Maybe there'll be another Taurus Gemini that might just resonate with what you have to say. All right. And then someone might be realizing that they're not alone. Beautiful souls, thank you for letting me be here with you today. Thank you for liking the video, commenting, subscribing, joining this channel, this community of CUSP souls. And if you haven't checked out your monthly readings or your weekly readings or bi-weekly readings, all right, check them out. There might be just a message there for you. You know, the soul blueprint helps you just understand who you are at the core. Your natural gifts, your challenges, your patterns, and the beautiful combination of energies that makes you. All right. The monthlies, the weeklies, the bi-weeklies, all right, whatever's happening in that month, if I'm going to do weeklies or bi-weeklies, right? They just help you connect with a deeper understanding to the energies that you're moving through right now. Beautiful souls, thank you for being here, sharing your energy with me, and being part of, again, the Mystical Soul Tribe. Just remember that you don't need to silence your mind to find peace. You don't need to choose between curiosity and stability. You don't have to become someone else to finally feel whole. And I'm hearing like you are learning how to let your mind explore while giving your soul somewhere else to land. Trust yourself, your journey, and keep becoming the most authentic version of you. So beautiful soul, my Taurus Gemini, I'm sending you so much love and blessings, and I'll check you around.